U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships. Hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed, working alongside with Mike Galloway. And Mike, we have got end-to-end action for everybody tonight.
This is a great show, as always, in the Pontiac Silverdome. It's super exciting. You've got a tremendous class of tractors. Just unbelievable at the tractors that are here tonight. A lot of new tractors that we haven't seen in the past. We've also got tremendous two-wheel drive action. Plus, when you get down to racing inside the Pontiac Silverdome with the tanks and the monster trucks, Marty, this is going to be great and a lot of fun.
Including in that monster truck battle, of course, Bigfoot. Stay with us because we'll be back with our first round of action here at the U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships. The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks, is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Marty Reed and Mike Galloway with you at the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Association Truck Pull Championships, two-wheel drive, modified class action here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. And getting ready to hook up Mike Galloway, it is Butch Schultz in Magnum Jr.
And this is Butch's son, Butch Schultz Jr. This young man, 16 years of age, just taking over the driving of this truck this year. And an outstanding job, Marty. This is a supercharged Ford engine. So there's big horsepower under the hood for a 16-year-old to handle, but he does it extremely well. He's not new to the sport by any means. He's been going with his dad for as long as I can remember, and he probably has been to as many pulls as most grown folks have. But this young man handles the driving chores on Magnum Jr. extremely well. His dad stands completely out of the picture, just kind of watching what's going on, but you can know that Dad's got to be on the nervous edge.
A couple of blips on the throttle to clean the motor, and he is underway, putting the power down. The transfer weight coming forward on the sled. He's leaning a little left. Look out. He's got to get out of it.
Had to back completely out of it, and I think we'll see this in the replay. The truck went left. A lot of times that'll happen on the track. Will pull you left, or the truck will just drift to the left. But this one really went left. Watching off the starting line, truck staged in the middle. That's the place to be naturally. But almost immediately, the truck began to drift to that left-hand lane. And Butch Schultz Jr. doing a great job, really doing a fine job of fronting him up in the air. But now the drift to the left, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's riding the brakes, trying to keep it inbound, and he'll drop it just before it goes out of bounds. So we'll get some kind of ruling, Marty, from down on trackside to find out if he kept it inbounds. If he did, they'll measure from the center front of the sled. If he didn't, then they'll measure from the same point, but they'll take 30 feet off of it.
Well, the distance on Magnum Jr., 147 feet, 5 inches, so obviously he did keep it inbound, Mike.
Good job on Butch Jr.'s part.
Darth Invader hooking up now. Mike Slater at the wheel and the 88 Chevy Astro van. That's a pretty looking machine.
Well, it is. It's beautiful. Been stretched a little bit in the nose. You can't hardly tell it. That's the kind of work they do in Grand Plains, Michigan. And he will ask for horsepower and run with the best of them. There's a truck right there that can put it out. He'll knock right on the door. I mean to tell you, the front of that sled is so close to that full pull mark. It's going to take a measurement to find out if he's still in the running here tonight.
Well, Mike, there's the information. Mike Slater has done it full pull. So Darth Invader has gone out and done it first tonight. Now backing up into hook up to the sled, defending national champion in the two-wheel drive class, Bill Romsberg from Alberton, Pennsylvania. And he's driving the Rice Burner, an 87 Toyota, but it's got Chevy horsepower.
Currently ranked number 3 in the points with the Rice Burner. And Bill is a relatively newcomer to pulling. He's only been in about a year, a little over a year, and last year won the national championship. So here's a young man that has truly got his work cut out for him tonight.
I noticed it. Now, he took a second stab at getting just set up perfectly here, Mike. Is there any particular necessity or any way that a particular driver might do things differently at the starting line?
Well, yeah, everyone will stage a little bit different, but I think Bill Romsberg really wants the truck straight. You want to make as straight a pass as you possibly can tonight. And that's going to be a key situation. We've set the pace with a full pull. Already Mike Slater has gone out and done that. So these guys, the one that follows Mike Slater, know what they have to do. They know they've got to go the distance to be able to come back in the pull-off.
Bill Romsberg puts the power down. The weight transfer comes forward, keeping the front end down. Question is he going to make it past the full pull? No.
Romsberg with a beautiful pass, but ends up, look, we're going to get a measurement naturally, but he's some 20 feet behind the full pull mark.
Well, the distance for the rice burner of Bill Romsberg, 171 feet, 8 inches, and obviously not enough to force a pull-off. Meanwhile, coming back to get hooked up to the sled is the Kool-Aid Kid. At the wheel is Bobby Johns, and Mike Galloway had a chance to talk with him just a few minutes ago.
Bobby Johns is making quite a name for himself in the two-wheel drive class. Bobby, what's going to be the key for tonight's competition?
Well, I think it's a combination of putting the weights in the right place on the truck and just total horsepower.
What about tire speed? Think that'll come into play?
Well, a lot of the guys claim I don't have any tire speed, but I've showed them in the past with the automatic transmission that it does work.
We've seen it work a lot in our series, and it may work tonight. We'll know when Bobby goes to the sled.
Well, there's Bobby Johns putting on the helmet and getting strapped in. And one thing I wanted to ask you, Mike, he has moved the sled over to the right side of the course. Why?
Marty, no one's been over there. I think this is a real good idea and a good judgment call on Bobby's part. No one's been to that side of the track. The track's going to be real good over there. It could be the place for Bobby to get the truck out with. The truck looks like it's trying to run to the left.
Well, the strategy did not pay off because Bobby Johns does not make it to the full pull mark. And we'll wait for the measurement. And so far, only Mike Slater has been able to go the distance. Well, here's the distance for Bobby Johns, and it'll be a long ride back to Glendale, West Virginia. 168 feet, 4 inches, and that will not be good enough tonight for the Kool-Aid Kid. Now backing up is Alan Gaines, second in the point standings in the two-wheel modified sportsman class. Orange Blossom Special 2 from Georgetown, Kentucky.
And Alan has gone to the left-hand side of the track. So we saw Bobby on the right. Alan has positioned the sled more to the left than the other pullers. Not a lot, but he's still getting out of the ruts, Marty. The ruts right in the middle. His right front tire is straddling the ruts of the pullers before him. I think here again, Alan is so wise in reading a track. Really does a great job. Let's see how he ends up with this. Slack out of the chain, no jerk start. He needs the full pull, and if anyone could do it tonight, Alan Gaines needs to.
Well, he's underway. And here comes the weight transfer. Oh, something let go, and he's going to fall far short.
Alan had a good run going for him. That little backfire right at the end probably wasn't anything but spending money.
Oh, and it can get so expensive.
And it's always another bad sign when they peak down at the side of it. Yes, I don't know what this is hanging out the right-hand side of the motor, but it wasn't here before you left.
Right.
Let's watch Alan as he comes. He's on the right bank, no doubt about that. Hardy had a good hook, but I think you're going to see that about the 150-foot mark, that's when this truck let go or quit, but it sounded like it let go on the motor end of it, the rod end of it. Good hook here, good tire speed, but I see the motor begin to kind of pull down right in this area. And RPM begins to drop. Now watch real close as it says, I've had all this I can stand for a lifetime. Look at the right bank. See the little puffs of smoke? Death smoke.
So here are the final results in two-wheel drive truck competition. Darth Invader, Mike Slater, the only one to make a full pull. Rice Burner with Bill Romsberg finishes second at 171 feet and some change. And Bobby Johns, the Kool-Aid Kid, comes in third at 168 feet. We'll be back with tractors here at the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships right after this. Marty Reed and Mike Mike Galloway with you at the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships. Modified tractors here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. And does anybody need a light? Because Gary Mills is about ready to light up this crowd.
I think that may be a Bud Light.
One to Go is the name of the tractor from Falston, Maryland. A T64 GE, and watch this thing breathe some fire.
Turbine motor, and it's a little bit bigger than a lot of the turbines that we see in competition. There's a little shot of fire right at the end of it. Gary will turn the wick up.
Now, Gary's underway, leaning a little to the left, bringing it back right. Boy, he's all over the track, but getting close to that full pull line. He will not quite make it.
It's going to be very, very, very close as he cleans the motor out a little bit for that full pull distance. Good hook. I mean, absolutely a picture-perfect hook for Gary Mills. We're going to see some people take that sled out of this place as fast as you've ever seen it tonight.
Well, here's the distance for Gary Mills, and Mike, you can't get any closer without going all the way out. 179 and 11 inches.
No, Marty, they measured to 1/4 of an inch, so he could have got within another, 3/4 of an inch. He could have sneezed a little bit.
Well, coming up now is Charlie Wilcox with Plum Nasty. And earlier, Mike found something interesting about this vehicle.
One of the most exciting things about truck and tractor pulling is that you can go into competition with anything you've got as long as it's safe. We've seen several engines that are supercharged on one tractor. But tonight, we've got a tractor with 3 naturally aspirated engines, much like the ones you'd have in your car that you drive down the street. This may be the setup tonight. We'll take a look.
Underway as we're back to the action here in modified tractors. And Charlie Wilcox got all those motors cranking, but boy, he is going to fall far short.
Well, we talked about it earlier. It's your choice in pulling. Maybe it's your pocketbook's choice.
Well, here's the distance for Charlie Wilcox and Plum Nasty, 131 feet, 3.5 inches. And there's Dave Bainter, a little nod of the head to the crew saying, hey, I'm ready.
But he's got 2 motors left off of it for this 7,200-pound class. He can run 6. Said he can build one at home that can take 7 or 8.
I'd ask you a question here, but I have a feeling once he starts, we're not going to be able to hear each other.
So, Marty, that's the way you do it.
I'll tell you what, brought the crowd to its feet. Dave Bainter. That definitely out the door for a full pull and then some.
Wait till you see this on replay, because you're going to see how much horsepower this man's got. He leaves with it, cracks the throttle a couple of times trying to get the tires to set up, and then hammers it. Look at him, just ripping the throttles a little bit. Into it. Now we're going to take it and run with it. And when it does, this thing hooks up. Mr. Chevy is headed to the door with the Banner brothers all over it. It's a beautiful job, and I tell you what, we're going to see some more full pulls before this night's over. It's just great, the action that's coming out of that tractor.
So Dave Bainter, Mr. Chevy, a full pull. First one of the night in the modified tractors.
The cost of new homes.
With Mission Impossible and 5, count them, 5 Chevrolet 500 cubic inch engines on board. And earlier, Mike Galloway had a chance to talk to Tim.
Thanks, Marty. Tim Engler, tell us a little bit about Mission Impossible. You got the motors put everywhere.
Well, that's true, Mike. I tell you what, actually the tractor, the way we're going to run tonight is set up with 5 engines on it. We're going to be running a 7,200-pound modified class, and we do something a little bit different. We run our engines crossways. Basically, that's by using a 90-degree transfer type gearbox. It transfers the power from the engine sitting sideways back to a straight shaft that goes back toward the rear end of the tractor. We do have one engine sitting up on top that's running down through a 90-degree or a vertical box that actually transfers the power back to the bottom shaft to mate up with the 90-degree gearboxes. From that point, then everything goes through one shaft to a pinion in the rear end. But we do kind of like to be known for doing things different, and we're looking forward to tonight.
You think you lose any power by going through the 90-degree boxes?
We lose less power going through the 90-degree gearbox because it's a spiral bevel type gear, and there's only 2 gears involved. where more common gearboxes, such as a wide cross box, has like, say, 5 or 6 or 7 gears. Every time you have more gears, it takes more horsepower to pull at.
Hey, Marty, how'd you like to buy fuel for those?
I'd hate to be the mechanic who has to tune them. How do you keep 5 of these things in tune?
Well, run in and get you a set of plugs. Oh, give me 40.
I'd have tennis elbow from taking them in and pulling them out.
Look at him. He's all on the right-hand side. This track is pulling these guys to the left. He's going to the right to compensate. Look at the motor. Whoa, what a run. Unbelievable. My heavens, this was a walk in the park for that man.
Tim Engler waved to the crowd, and absolutely no trouble whatsoever. Look at them. They're still breathing easily. All 5 of them.
I'm not sure that Tim Engler ever thought that the weight was on him. I mean, he knew it was there, but it didn't load the tractors. It didn't make them labor. He just went on with it. Watch him. Trip. Look at this. Look at this hand.
Yeah.
He's feeling of it. Now it's good. That's when all of the motors come to life. The tire speed jumps up around 100 miles an hour. Look at this monster coming down the track at you, patting the track and the dirt. Marty, it looks like some kind of earth-moving equipment, and that's what it is, kicking the dirt up behind him. He shuts out of it, and look how far this thing slides before it ever comes to a stop.
You know what may be appropriately named Mission Impossible. It could be impossible for anybody else to beat him tonight if he has that kind of power in the pull-off.
Isn't it great? How busy is that pull-off going to get tonight?
Well, we've got 2 turbines on this one, 2 GE Green Monster turbines. Art Arfons from Akron, and boy, I'll tell you, anybody who follows motorsports knows that this is one of the living legends, and that is no small phrase tossed around when you're talking about this gentleman. He has done it all.
63 years young.
And absolutely would run you and me both into the ground, and no matter what we do.
Yeah, he'd hurt you all right, Marty.
Oh, I tell you, he has got a lot of energy, a lot of driving, a heck of a lot of talent behind that wheel.
You know, what is amazing is this man's capabilities. What he does with his mind and his hands and his tools, and just building this tractor, let alone, you know, thinking it up and putting it together, making a dream a reality, is unbelievable.
Well, when he lights these turbines up, get ready. The crowd here will be a big ooh, ah, and all the flash bulbs will be going crazy.
Brings the boost up. Now, this is Marty, this is so critical. RPM have to be up to maximum power.
What would happen if he miscalculated?
The motors will shut down. The power will come off of them. This is probably the only reason they were never produced as a mass production gasoline motor. Now, we've seen this before. The left motor's lit. I don't think the right motor ever fired. The right motor may have never fired. Arfon's in the air. He's got ground speed. Yes, it is lit. He's going to go out.
Arfons brings the crowd to their feet.
They better go back and, in the pull-off, add, probably another 10,000 pounds to stop these people tonight.
There'll be more modified tractor action here at the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships right after this. And Mike Galloway with you at the Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Association Tractor Pull Championships. Modified tractor pull-off here at the Silverdome. And it's going to be Dave Bainter up first, Mike.
Sounds like the list of who's who in tractor pulling. You know, Bainter, Engler, Arfon. You just named the top names in the United States in this sport.
Well, there is Dave Bainter, Mr. Chevy. He's got 4 of them on there, 454 cubic inches each. And if you remember a little bit earlier, he literally could have driven it to the parking lot. Look at the concentration.
I think he's looking up on the big screen, see if his picture's up there.
Yeah, I think you are right. Saying, okay, the TV's ready, so I'm ready. Here we go.
Get everything on cue. Slack out of the chain, visor down. It's time to handle a few thousand horsepower.
Well, Mr. Bainter just set the mark again.
Okay, they have what might be considered a small problem is the fact that they've gone the distance a second time.
So Dave Bainter sets the mark, and everybody else who's going to join the second round of pull-off action will have to match him with a full pull as Mr. Chevy goes the distance. Now coming into view will be Tim Engler, and look at those 5 motors. Mission impossible. He's our third here in the pull-off.
Marty, would you call that a mess of motors? Kind of like a mess of fish. Is that a mess of motors?
I don't want to jinx anybody, but, you know, we've had so many parts flying off these things. If all 5 of these things let go at once, you would have a mess of motor.
That is very true.
I'll tell you what, we better talk quick, because once he puts all 5 into gear and goes, I can't even hear myself in the headset. Here we go. Unbelievable. Number 5 let go on the right side, and he still could have kept going. They ran out of track.
He blew a header off about 75 feet off the back upper engine. Headers are split into 2 places. He blew one of the headers off. There's where the header's missing from. Didn't seem to affect the performance. Ran out of track on the other end. But you see the pieces laying around. Let us hope that someone doesn't. There it is. I hope they don't run out and pick it up, because it will be warm, no doubt. Yeah, there you go. He thought about it, but he just didn't think very long about picking that up. I bet it wouldn't take very long to look at it.
Well, let's take another look at it. You can see, watch number 5, the one closest to Tim Engler.
Here's this driving style where you're setting the motor, setting the tire. Now watch the header. See it come loose right on the back. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. It's just hanging there now, vibrating around, and it breaks loose right in this area. You see it come off, bounce around on it, and then the sled gets on top of it. Tim?
Notice the concentration. He never even worried about it. Just stayed focused.
It was just something that, you know, that happened. Let's go on. And he did just that.
So Tim Engler in Mission Impossible has guaranteed us that we are going to have a second pull-off, as he now joins Dave Bainter with full pulls here in round number 2, which will force round number 3. We could be here all night at this rate, the way these guys have shown the power.
They won't pull it out next time.
Yeah, maybe they will ask us to climb on board. A little extra weight. But I'll tell you right now, it's Art Arfons that you're looking at. That is daughter Dusty.
He's having trouble firing. There is a problem with it. He's waved Dusty off. Here's Tim. There's Tim, his son, coming up on the other side, checking things over, making sure Dad's okay.
I'll tell you what, this is a drama builder for the audience. Right. I mean, they normally, these guys, you know, the regular non-turbine powered machines, they hook up and they go. Well, it takes a little longer for Art Arfons, and boy, the crowd really comes to life when this machine comes up to full power.
Sure got quiet in this place with all the people here.
Well,
strangely enough, it was the left motor that worked before. The right motor didn't. Now it's the right motor that seems. Now they're both in good shape. And here comes Art Arfons.
Can Arfons make it 4,
Look
3,
out.
2, 1? Absolutely. We're going. Oh, what a display.
Look at the smoke. Look at the smoke coming off the tires. He went to the pavement, smoking the tires.
Brings back our days of drag racing.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, Art Arfons makes it 3 now.
But now you talk about a smoke show. That's a smoke show.
Woo. We can tell you that our double pull-off is not going to materialize, and there is a specific reason why, Mike.
Well, what it all boils down to, Marty, is that this, as we've seen all night tonight, so many vehicles have destroyed themselves on this track in this competition. Art Arfons did have problems on the end. It looked like something in the throttle area. We have found out since then, Mr. Chevy, the Banners, have also broken something in the drive line, so that drops 2 out. Tim Engler, as we saw earlier, snapped the header off, but he can still run. He still has plenty of motors, and the header does not affect his competition. So Tim Engler will become the official winner of tonight's competition with Mission Impossible.
So here's your final standings in the modified tractor division. Mission Impossible with Tim Engler, Art Arfons and Green Monster, and Dave Bainter and Mr. Chevy.
This is an apple, and this
The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships, and we have got monster trucks on the line. It'll be high voltage with Jeff Bainter at the wheel versus Samson with Dan Patrick pulling the trigger.
88 Jeep with a blown Chevrolet on this side. 88 Chevrolet with a blown Chevrolet on the far side. This is Jeff Bainter out of Yakima, Washington. And Dan Patrick out of Kingston, Ohio on the far side. It's a tough track. It's a short blast over some cars. Look out, we're on the way. Landing's gonna be tough. Dan Patrick wheeling down the track. Now the tight turn. Jeff has got an advantage with the little Jeep, but Patrick's on the throttle. Who will it be? Patrick in trouble as he goes sideways. Look out, Jeff Bainter in trouble as he goes. Oh, he drove it out of it. Look at that. There is driving technique. All he has to do is take his time and cross the line, and he's a winner. That's the winner of first round. Wow, Marty. It was unbelievable.
Great performance by Jeff Bainter and Dan Patrick. It looks like something may have let go underneath in the motor. A lot of smoke coming out of there.
Patrick's had problems with the power steering belt, keeping the power steering going on this thing, and that may be what happened on Samson. But there's a young man, pulled an upset here last year. And that's not your average size Jeep, as you can tell. It's been lengthened, it's been widened, but it is beautiful.
All right, getting ready for our second pair in monster truck side-by-side action. Hot stuff with Debbie Rhoden at the wheel. And earlier, Mike had a chance to talk to Debbie.
Debbie Rhodes, how did you ever get involved in monster truck racing?
Jeff got me interested about a year ago, and I started driving this summer at some of the fair shows, just doing exhibition runs, and got into the racing in January.
What's the toughest part of the track tonight?
I think realizing how much throttle you've got to give it to get into the cars real good, and how to stay on the power, get them straightened back out, and just hoping that everything lands right.
You think the short wheelbase hot stuff has an advantage in this tight course?
Yeah, I do. In the turning, it does, definitely. It's a little harder to get some air going over the cars like the long wheelbase, but we can, do the turning and gain our time through that.
Now, is the pressure on? This truck won here last time.
Yeah, it did. I'm just going to give it my best shot and just trying to hold up its image.
Well, I don't know whether she'll win tonight, but she's a winner in everybody else's eyes.
Lining up alongside of Debbie Rhoden's hot stuff will be BearFoot with Fred Shafer behind the wheel, and he's got thumbs up, ready to go with that 540 cubic inch engine.
Well, Debbie's a great driver. Fred Shafer has to be at an advantage with this all-race truck. Watch Fred Shafer. This is tough. Look at Debbie. She's got the lead. She's got a big lead over BearFoot right now. Could this be? She is in a truck that has done it here before.